I'm going back to bed. And when I wake up, I know this problem better be solved. Lo and behold. So where am I going with this? What am I trying to talk about? Well, hello. Welcome to another of whatever the fuck this is. Yeah. Today, it is literally, 6 in the fucking morning. I'm sorry I'm cussing. I'm already upset if you couldn't tell. Because I am up this early because I have to go to work. Yeah, let's talk about it. Because I've had enough. I've had enough about the rhetoric, oh, Gen Z doesn't like to work. Oh my God, Gen Z is so lazy. First of all, they've been saying this shit about the younger generation since 1894. That's how back in the day they've been shitting on the younger generations. I already see it happening with Gen Alpha. I feel for them folk already because any generation is just a reflection of the values that were enforced upon them by the older generation, whoever raised them, but also the society of which they were born into, right? So walk with me for a second. Ever since I got to this motherfucking planet, it has been disarray, war, recession, hard time, struggle. I mean, there's not a day of rest. And now it's 2024. 2025. I remember back in 2016, that was when Trump first won. I was 16. And I literally came down the stairs of my house and I saw the news was playing, in the background as my parents were watching it in the morning. And when I tell you, I literally fell down the stairs, like literally just when I saw that Trump was the candidate that won. And I remember similarly, bro, this election in November, after when it was like election day, man, I literally, like, in the middle of the night woke up. I was like, okay, let me check, see how things are going. I seen he was at like 100 and something and she was like at 30 something, and I was like, I'm going back to bed. And when I wake up, I know this problem better be solved. Lo and behold. So where am I going with this? What am I trying to talk about? When I was young, I had this thought that when we got older, things would be different because we wouldn't stand for the type of shit that the older generations have been letting slide for decades. And here we are in the same situation as our ancestors. How dare we? What are we doing, y'all? Like, okay, we don't like to work. Have you ever asked us why? Have you ever asked us why? Maybe it's because I have middle-aged women coming for me on the job. I'm just doing my work. And literally, that's me though. That's me, no. Nobody can say I'm bad at my work because period, that's all I came here to do. I do my job and that's it. If I want to kiki with you, that's cool. But if I don't, I shouldn't have to. I fucking hate small talk, yo. I have some girl woman, she's like grown with 2 kids, who comes up with, and this is, let me reiterate for her. Let me show y'all what she's like. Hi. How y'all doing today? It's been a good day, isn't it? Like, are you on crack cocaine? I work at a law firm, so perhaps. But she always has this wide smile, but this dead fucking look in her eyes. And I'm like, is you good? And casually jokes about, maybe I shouldn't have ever gone to law, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have. All these demanding ass labor intensive jobs. And I can't even imagine what the fuck it was like if you had to go into the office every single day. Here's my thing with office culture. Why do I have to be there if there's nothing to fucking do? That is my biggest thing. Because sometimes I go into the office and it's like, oh, the day goes by so fast because I had so many things to catch up on. I went for a 2-week vacation over Christmas. Came back to the office after having done no work, not one. I finished, caught up with everything I had to do within the first 4 hours of me getting there. my first day back into the office. And I had to stay for the rest of the day to do what? For what reason? Like, it is all these rules and regulations that are not about productivity. Look at them telling us to go back into the office, but we were more productive when we had a flexible work from home schedule. What does that tell you? It's not about productivity. It's not about work. It's about having control over your time, your energy. Okay, because I used to think when I was young, like my mom would come home being a bitch, and I'm like, girl, don't bring all your coworker shit on to me. I didn't do nothing. But I get it now. It is so hard not to bring work home with you, especially if you are in a place where you have to go there every single fucking day, 9 to 5 or whatever your hours are, 8 hours a day. Like, can I live? Can I live? Can I actually experience my life? And that's the thing that pisses me off. Like, you would think that the older people would have some, I don't know, compassion for the fact that I just got here. I graduated college. Now I'm starting my work life. You know, like, I still am young. I still want to shake my ass. Like, I still want to, live a little bit. But y'all are expecting us to put work at the forefront of our lives just like you did, but now you're miserable. So why? That's the thing I understood. Like, at first, when I was literally getting bullied by middle-aged women, and it was women, I didn't have this problem with men. And I feel like it's because of the competitiveness of the workforce and all the ways that, men can kind of coast a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't have the male experience, so I don't know what it's like. But as a black woman in the workplace, other women, middle-aged fucking women, I keep reiterating this because it pisses me off. I'm like, y'all have kids, mortgages, husbands, families. Why are you minding my business? Why are you so concerned about what I got going on? Look at me moving this around. I know the audio gonna be crazy, but I'm so upset. And it's, again, 6 a.m. I have to go to work in the next 30 minutes. Oh my God. This is life. This is what I have to do for how many more years until I'm 65? Maybe. The way this is going, who knows when retirement is even guaranteed. And I have to wait all the way up until that time. I have a family friend who literally waited their entire life to retire, right? And within the first year of their retirement, their wife died. It's not funny. It's just saying, you tell us to put off everything that we want to do to the later part of our lives when we're old, when our body's literally starting to shut down, because the average age of death is 74 or something like that. So it's not like you have from 65 to 100, no, you got a solid 10 years after giving 40, 50 years of your life, of your existence to the workforce. Does that make coherent sense to anybody? And it's if we were back in the era of farmland and shit, okay, I get it. You gotta be working when the sun comes up and then you finish when the sun comes down. We are not in that time anymore. There are so many ways that technology can be used. AI can be used to make our lives easier, but no, they're using it in the creative world to serve y'all schlop. And then we wonder why Gen Alpha looks so brain dead. What have we been feeding them mentally? What have we been feeding them? I mean, even Gen Z is a little, because what have y'all been doing to us from day fucking one? No rest, no peace. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just so it's painful. I woke up in the middle of the night tonight, maybe 3:30-ish, and it was just one of those nights where you can't go back to sleep. And I keep checking my phone because I know I have to be up in the next 2-3 hours, and it makes me not even sleep because I'm waiting. I'm like, oh gosh, I have to get up soon. Oh, do you know I sleep like a baby when I don't have to go into the office? 4-day weekend 3-day weekend. I work from home on Friday, so but 3-day weekend, praise the Lord, but any amount of vacation, any amount of weekends, it's never enough. And we have to talk about it if we're gonna make it better. I don't understand why they are so focused on enforcing a system that literally does not work for the people, the workers, right? You need us as means of production to line the capitalist pockets, okay? And you can't even accommodate us in the slightest. I heard Amazon is making everybody come back to the office. Fuck that corporation boycott. And it's not even about that. But separately, it's like, why are y'all allowing them to do this? You do know that we are stronger together. Like, as a working class, like, we could be like, no, we're not going back to that. Why are y'all so scared? If you get everybody in your office, enough people in your office, you think they're going to lay off all of you? No. And if they do, we need to come together and be like, we refuse to work for corporations, apply for corporations that would do this type of shit. We want that. We need it. We demand that flexibility. Just like these bitches demanding that we come back into the office to do what? Twiddle our fucking thumbs? What do you want from us? Like, it does not make sense to me. There are days when I'm in the office, right? I'm looking outside from my little cubicle, right? Not big enough to have an office yet. I got to work another 10 years for that. Oh my goodness. I'm looking outside. It's all sunny. It's all beautiful. And I'm here. Nothing the fuck to do. But I can't go outside. Can't leave. I'm on the clock. It's not about productivity because I got all my work done. Why can't you just pay me for getting the work that I need to do done and let me have the say over my time? Let me have some fucking autonomy. That's the thing. That's what really triggers me. It's like, do I not get a say on how my life goes? And is this normal? Is this the expectation? And y'all are calling Gen Z wild for being like, what the fuck is this? Like, we did not suffer all those years. And then on top of it, it's like we are now living in a time where we are way past the boomer era of, oh, I can work at the gas station and still buy a house, a car, and supply for my family on one income. We are way past that. Even just one person living in a one-bedroom apartment will probably need to work at least 2 jobs to supply for that if they want to have any type of life other than coming back home, eating some tuna fresh out the can, and going to bed. I step out my house, it costs $50. I'm in distress, clearly. And it's not even like I dislike my job. I don't. I feel like the work is pretty simple. It's very simple. I did not need a college degree to be doing this, and that's the craziest part to me. Like, all these requirements, a high schooler could do this. And I'm not talking about a high school graduate. I'm talking about someone in high school could do the things that I do on a regular basis. All you need is a little bit of training. It could be internships. Why are we like demanding such degrees? And thank God I didn't graduate with student loans. Thank God my parents loved me enough to, shout out to all y'all with student loans. My parents actually paid my way through college. Not just that, I had to do the scholarships. I had to do the, whatever, so that I could like lower the cost enough for them to be able to afford it. But that's because I worked my ass off in high school. I worked my ass off in college to graduate with honors and all these decorations. And what the fuck did it get me? A little above minimum wage? No, it's not minimum wage, actually. It's like, I won't tell y'all the details. I don't know why. Maybe I will. But I don't because the money doesn't matter. All you need to know is that I'm broke. Like, I live in a very, I managed to find a place that the rent was reasonable, because most places you have to pay $2,000 a month to live in somewhere that's halfway decent. Don't let you be in New York or something. Oh my goodness. Don't let you be in any major city. But I live in Texas, and the prices, I'm telling you, it's going up everywhere. So I'm like, what about the people who don't have these type of options? What about the people who don't have these type of abilities? Are they just left to the fire, left to the fray? Homelessness is a huge crisis. Like, people are suffering. And for what? And the other thing is, the gag is, the people that do have jobs are suffering too. So many people in my generation are complaining because they graduated from college, the job workforce, whatever, the job market is shit. So nobody's getting hired, and apparently Gen Z has a terrible reputation, so they're hiring niggas with 40 plus years of experience. Yeah, how the fuck are we supposed to rival that? I just graduated with that degree that you told me was the key to getting everything I want in this life. They lied to us. You see why I'm upset? They lied. I did everything they told me I was supposed to do, and I'm still miserable. And the thing is, I wouldn't be miserable. I wouldn't be miserable if I didn't have to work. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, it's work that makes me miserable. It's not even the work that I do. Again, it's easy, it's simple. Like, I can do a great job. It is the culture, the work culture, the office, I'm spitting everywhere, office culture. I'm like, can't we evolve? Can't we grow? Can't we change? Can't we give something new a chance if what has been working is no longer? Because you have a whole generation of people saying we are not motivated to do this. And your response is to belittle us? Aren't we the ones that are going to be paying for your retirements in a couple years? Like, if we don't want to work, and if y'all are now just like opting to not hire us and not give us that experience, what do you expect us to do? I'll tell you what we should do. Let's support each other. Fuck all these corporations. Just do whatever it is you want to do, and let's give credence to that. Like, let's help each other, like buy from each other, support small business. Sorry. Support small businesses, like all this. Like, we need to come together, because I cannot do this for another like 10 minutes, let alone 30 years. What are you talking about? And that's when I realized, like, I understand why these people become so bitter. Okay, sorry about that, because I was interrupted by an alarm that reminds me that I'm supposed to get ready, because I have like 30 minutes to get back into the office. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is they don't care about us, okay? And the thing about these older people who've become so desensitized and become so evil, it's because when they were young, nobody cared about them. And they stayed. They stayed in these miserable ass positions where they were treated like dog shit. And then now they expect us to do the same. I'm like, I'm not built like that. I'm not built like that at all. It's not that I don't want to work. I don't want to get taken advantage of. I don't want to get taken as a fucking fool. I don't want to get taken for granted. Like, it's not like I'm not doing nothing. I offer a service that is much needed by your little corporation. Clearly, I've seen it. So like, y'all cannot function with the people without the people from the bottom up. Okay? So why are y'all treating us like you couldn't care less? Why are y'all treating us like fucking cattle that needs to be herded? Sheep that needs to be like shepherded? I don't know. Like, y'all just treat us like animals that need to be controlled. Animal Farm, I need to read that book. I've been hearing a lot about it, especially with this oligarchic regime that we got. So I really need to look into that. But my point is, it's just frustrating to see how little they care about our voices. And because they have socialized us to think that the worker's voice means nothing, that is what we implicitly believe. Because nobody is protesting this. Nobody's putting their foot down. Nobody's doing office walkouts. Didn't we used to do them in school? Let's do that. Let's bring that back to the office. Because if enough of us say, hey, we're not doing this no more, they have no choice. But the thing is, they have convinced enough of us to be such in a place of like desperation and fear. Because a lot of us are 1 to 2 paychecks away from being homeless. Like, statistically. Okay, so 1 paycheck out and now you can't pay your rent. Isn't that insane? You've been working for how many years? You miss 1 paycheck and you're donezo. You don't work for a month and everything is over. Does that make sense to anybody? And it's not even just the younger generation. I'm talking about not old, but like older people, millennials. How do y'all feel? I know it must be hard, man. I know it must be hard. I see y'all in the office too. It's not y'all. I feel like it's Gen X that I have issues with. Sorry, no tea, no shade in the office because but millennials, they still have a little light in their souls. You know, like they haven't been completely crushed by the system, but they're getting there. And I see it because, you know, again, that's another generation that was told you do this, you do that, and then you'll get everything. And look at what they got. At least they had the party era of the 2000s. Like that was nice. I was still in elementary school. So, but now it's looking real grim. It's looking real. And that lady I told y'all about that's a millennial. And I can see the light inside her is dying. And it's like, you would think that someone who, you have a good job, you have a family, like you have a nice house, like you have all the things that they say that makes a good life. And I can see in your eyes that you're miserable. And it's like, why would I aspire to this? Why would I want to work in a system that turns people into this? And that was the thing I was getting like from some of like the older women at my job. It's like, you want me to be as bitter and hateful as you. You want to see me with slumped shoulders walking in. I don't wear my struggle on my chest, okay? I shove that shit down like a G, okay? That's what I was taught. But I fully understand why some of y'all have gotten to that point. What I don't understand is how societally, how collectively, we have allowed ourselves to get to this point where most people work jobs that they hate. And that is the norm. Like that whole, oh, find a job that you love and you won't have to work a day in your life. Like it is rare to find someone who actually loves their job. Like, how many people do you know talk about, oh yeah, I love going into the office every single day. They used to gaslight us into thinking like, oh yeah, it's like the younger generations that want to go back into the office. Bitch, where? Point them out, please. I don't know a single Gen Z person. The thing is, my first job, like my first internship in college, and that was my first job, my first like grown woman job, you know? It was like an internship during college, and it was the only time in my life that I've ever worked 9 to 5. And it was right at the peak of COVID, like 2020 summer. Yeah. And I was one of the people that would have to come in every single day, even though the office was fucking empty. And even though there was little to nothing for me to do. The thing is, it's like, it's an internship, right? So there would be nothing for me to do at home. My position was based on being an office assistant. But my thing is, and that was what pissed me off. It's like, y'all are acting like it's science to print shit from a printer and like to set up a conference room and to do all that simple shit. Like, do we need that? We don't need it. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, the way they would act, and even if I put some music in my ears, y'all act like I'm doing something wrong. What do you want me to do? Waste away? What do you want? That is what pisses me off. And don't act like you're not working, even if you have nothing the fuck to do. Go and find some shit that will make you look like you're being productive. That's what I'm saying. They don't care about productivity. They care about having a monopoly over our time. That's when we have to ask why. That's when we have to ask why. And that's when we have to look at what we would all be doing if we didn't have to put all of our life and our effort and our energy into this job that we don't even want. But we are forced to have. And that is why I think they took away abortion rights. Okay, let's get into it. Because if you have kids that need to eat, you can't quit that shitty ass job. You need to keep going. In theory, you know, like you are less likely to have that mentality of like, fuck it, you know? Me, I can survive off some ramen. So if I really need to go, I could be like, all right, worst comes to worst, I go back home to my Padres. Like, you know, so it's different when you have people that you have to provide for, you know? They know that you won't be as willing to do whatever the fuck you want. And that's it's a trap. It's all made to entrap us, to enslave us, dare I say. Dare I say indeed. Because there's actually real slavery that's happening in Africa still to this day. I saw some terrible article about Libya, and I'm like, this is what I always want, because sometimes people just forget that Africa is like, and trust, black people here, you think you're treated bad here, it's because they can't treat you as bad because people will see. The white people will see. In Africa, nobody sees. It's just blackies. So they can do whatever the fuck they want to us, and they feel like they can get away with it because the world doesn't care. We made that whole fuss about Gaza. Hopefully that ceasefire stays, because I've been seeing some stuff about it being shaky, and I'm not surprised about that. With the way that Trump and Netanyahu have been talking about it, I'm not surprised. Okay? Again, they only stopped because they felt like it. Not because we protested, not because we boycotted, but because they decided like they had enough. That's it. So now, where was I going with this? I'm just trying to put it all together, man, because it's like y'all are not seeing the big picture. Oh, here's what I was saying. It's like we saw all that destruction in Gaza. They weren't afraid to keep bombing them people, even though we were seeing it on like the screen. Okay? We don't see it in Africa. The same place that they literally derive minerals from so that we can have these phones and all of our tech, they don't have those same things. Okay? That the minerals in their countries are being used to make. So how are they going to record the injustices? They have to rely on the white people that come to, oh my goodness, look at the sad little boy who's starving to death, and then go and get a check and then get a fucking Nobel Peace Prize. It's so like, people are suffering all over the world. And then, you know, coming from an immigrant household and having family in Africa, literally, and actually America has been down in the drain now because we have people like that fucking orange clown and that fucking melted ass bitch who's giving press conferences from the Oval Office. And did you hear what his little son was saying?
This is from one year to the next are the same, and they do complain, and the force that's complained the loudest and the fastest is to restore democracy. Okay, we'd have to if you sorry.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And you're bringing that child in as a fucking prop? You're nasty. You're dusty. And I heard that this man had so many plastic surgeries and you still look like that? Ew! I had to say it from the bottom of my chest. Like, you're disgusting inside and out. Not enough plastic surgery in the world for that. Anyways, point being, like, America has become a joke. Make America great again. You are the fucking king of the clowns, my nigga. Oh my gosh, what are you talking about? And because of that, you know, I was about to say like, oh yeah, everybody wants to come to America. Not anymore. The gag is up. The propaganda has been shown to the other side. I mean, yes, to a certain degree, I'm sure there's still many people who would come to America if given the opportunity. But when I was in Nigeria, they was talking about, oh, actually, I kind of want to go to Canada or, you know, the UK or something like that, Germany. America wasn't even on the list. I was like, but if you had the opportunity, like, maybe, I guess. I'm like, damn. How far have we fallen? And it's because we have people that are so unserious running us. I mean, is this man not about to be 80? Like, you are even past the expected, the general, like, average death time. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you should not even be alive. Why are you running the country? And then y'all want to do that reverse ageism and talk about Gen Z. Look at y'all. Look at what we have. Look at what we've become. That's on y'all. That's the fuck on y'all. I just got here. I just got here. And that's the thing that really pisses me off too, is like, you want us to be what? Acting like we in our 40s? We're not. We're not. So I still want to live. Like, that's my biggest thing. You know, like, I still have plenty life that I want to live, plenty things that I want to enjoy. And you telling me I have to start working. And this is the thing, like, all through school, they were saying, okay, work hard so you can get to like a good college. You go to college, work hard so you can get a good job. Maybe you get a degree or two. Okay, work hard in your job so you can get that promotion. Okay, 10 years later, you got a promotion or two. Okay, now you got to go outside and have a family. All right, have a successful family. Work hard so you can provide for your family. Work hard so you can, oh, where does it end? Where does it end? The grave. And if you're lucky, maybe you got a year or two post retirement to go and see the mountains. Yay. So, all in all, I think I'm about done with this rant because I gotta get to work. All in all, I really do hope that we decide to do different. I really do hope that we decide to do better. I really do hope that we figure out what the fuck we're doing. Because how much longer? How much longer? That is all. Goodbye.